Deep in the Uintah Basin, a pillar of rock holds a prominent petroglyph, an anthropomorph identified as ancient Fremont, 24 inches wide from hand to hand and 27 inches tall from head to foot. The figure wears a unique medallion or chest ornament in the shape of a football. It overlooks a wide valley from its perch. Thus, we have called it the Sentinel Panel, as the figure stands as a lone sentinel in the area. What this figure was called by the people who carved it is unknown, and probably unknowable. Getting to the panel is not easy. It is off the beaten path.
Go on, keep going. I'm just filming.
Luckily, field guide and researcher Tim Sweeney led the way. And as we went in February, we were often climbing through snow and mud. It, of course, was cold enough that the Green River had frozen over. Often, the best part of recording petroglyphs is the people you go with. I took my son Max.
All right, Max, tell me what you're doing.
We're out here, about to cause a ruckus.
During our trip, we looked at 1,000-year-old rock art, climbed 2 mesas, discovered a Native American shelter, and stood in some of the most amazing places of the ancient Fremont. But of course, Max thought the highlight of the trip was when I got pulled over for expired tags. Thankfully, the police officer was very kind and even jovial and just gave me a warning. We drove out to the basin because a fellow researcher, Linda McNeil from the University of Colorado Boulder, is researching a set of petroglyphic images with crescent-shaped necklaces throughout the basin.
Here are these figures, and we are interested in the chest necklaces that are on them, these solid curved shapes.
She is testing a theory that these images are associated with the Moon Clan, similar to the Hopi Moon Clan. In her research, she cites the Uintah Basin Rock Image Recording Project, noting they have recorded 96 figures wearing a braided crescent collars like these, 77 of which are found specifically in the area of the Sentinel Panel. Linda wanted a picture of the moon setting on the western horizon from the point of view of the Sentinel. Unfortunately, it was cloudy the entire time we were there, and sun, moon, and star shots were impossible. Though, in the late night, a patch of clouds opened up, and I got this cell phone shot of the moon and Venus standing together in the sky. One of the challenges in our research is we generally only have a few days at a site, and we are subject to the weather on the days we are there. Very often, I return without some or most of the data I wanted. Either I return or use computer-generated data. I find that for the local horizons, a computer is no substitute for actual observations at a site. But most of what I do is measuring. And it was great to get Max at a site and train him in the simple things.
You call out the azimuth number. Face is due west. Now, without touching the rock face, you're going to give me an approximate measure using your string. Hey, you be very careful on that ledge. This is why Max is doing it.
Just a reminder, never touch a rock image panel. Preserve and protect these sacred images. I can tell you that I discovered something quite impressive about this panel. The panel itself faces due west, 270 degrees azimuth. It's quite remarkable how often the ancient Fremont chose rock faces with specific orientations. For this reason, we always measure the facing orientation of rock art image when surveying it. We have found that the vast majority of images face southwards, while another significant number face east and west. Only a minority of images face northwards. While looking at the western horizon, it became clear why an ancient Fremont might use this pedestal of rock for an observation point. The valley stretches westwards. At its southern end is a promontory of rock. It just so happens that the winter solstice sun sets right above this promontory. Due west, a large hill on the opposing bluff stands at true west, excepting the equinox sunsets. To the north, a unique crevice and feature of Split Mountain holds the summer solstice sunset. From this location, the valley becomes an excellent place to track the circuit of the sun as it sets through the year. And where the sun goes, so does the moon. The horizon could be divided up in monthly segments by a sun priest or clan timekeeper to track seasonal periods with their associated agricultural and hunting analogs. Finally, archaeologist Clay Johnson, who lives in the Uintah Basin, has studied this panel. These photographs are his. He notes that at winter solstice, the sun lights up the rock face in a unique way. A dapple of light first appears near the right hand of the figure. A nondescript coloring and pecking of rock is at his right hand. As the sun climbs in the sky, the sunlight on the rock face takes an interesting shape. According to Johnson, the sunlight turns into an animal, perhaps a dog, whose forepaw rests on the right hand of the sentinel figure. As the sunlight continues to move across the panel, the right hand and both legs of the figure are enveloped, while the rest of the figure remains in shadow. Eventually, the figure is enveloped in light. Johnson calls this effect sculpting, when natural rock surfaces or surfaces altered by pounding are used as parts of the finished petroglyph or pictograph image. We know that the Fremont used sunlight as part of their scribal palette, incorporating effects of the sun on the rock face through the year. At other sites we have recorded, sun daggers or unique shafts of light interplay with the ancient rock images in significant ways that are not coincidental. The Fremont use stone and paint to create an image, but sometimes they use the sunlight itself as the instrument of bringing an image to life. While I find Johnson's insights fascinating, I would have to see the effect in person. What this means is, at some winter solstice, I will be standing here with a camera and notebook in hand, waiting and watching at the rising of the sun. Some quarter-mile away from the Sentinel Panel is a lonely bluff that faces eastwards. While hiking there, we discovered this little gem.
Here is a built-in shelter on the east side of the rock. They constructed that. It's completely out of the weather. really quite something.
It looks like a simple shelter built into the rock face. Meanwhile, at the northern end of the bluff, a remarkable rock art panel looms over a different part of the valley. It is placed at the very tip of the bluff, and either the ancient Fremont used a ladder to carve the panel, or some rock ledge has long ago fallen away. The figures all wear the crescent-shaped chest plates. Many are pictoglyphs, both painted and carved. Most of the figures just have indicated torsos. I am reminded that many of the petroglyphs we see are actually just skeletons of what they once were. A carved torso like these may have been at one time painted and adorned with clay, beads, feathers, and other decorative elements, making them vibrant and living images in their day. Nearby, a giant sheep petroglyph faces another curious pictoglyph. The head holds what appears to be whiskers. Is this a cat figure? If so, these are exceedingly rare. Because of the state of the rock face, I was not sure if what I was seeing was what I thought it was. But a few miles away, another such figure with crescent necklace and whisker-like lines is carved into the rock. If it is a cat figure, there are variations of it in the Uintah Basin, another avenue to research for sure. As I climbed through the area around the Sentinel Panel, I saw numerous figures wearing the crescent-shaped necklace. The concentration of this kind of ornament in a specific region of the basin is a reminder that the thousands of figures found throughout the area each have their own characteristics that can be similar or different than the surrounding images. These particularities reveal distinct patterns in the rock art, which echo a vast cultural complexity over time, space, and peoples. I look forward to Linda McNeil's final report. Until then, we journey out into the desert to explore and discover. We experience wonder of the world and of the past. Finally, the UCAP team would like to ask for your help in preserving and protecting ancient rock imagery sites. Please do not touch, deface, scratch, mark on, or shoot at ancient rock art panels. Please do not enter or dislodge ancient rock structures or take pieces of pottery or artifacts for your own collection. Not only are these sites still being studied and their integrity remains important to ongoing research, but also these sites are sacred. Do not change them. Let them change you.